What did you do?
I'm sorry. I saw it there on the shelf and I couldn't help myself. I just bought it.
Well, honey, you know the rule. I mean,
Oh, I know.
if something comes in, something has to go out. We just don't have the room.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, I don't know.
What's going to have to go out?
I don't know. I got a plan.
You got a plan?
I got a plan.
Okay.
You'll see.
All right.
Tiny House Prepper.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth with Tiny House Prepper.
You know, I have mentioned in several videos before that I like to collect mugs. As we travel, I get a mug from the places that we travel. And I've mentioned this and the fact that since we live in 250 square feet, we just don't have any room for them. And so here we were in Aruba, and we got some keepsakes, didn't we?
Yeah, just a few mementos. I wore the flower that I got there. This is easy for me to find a spot in my room just to tuck this little flower, which I know is clashing with my shirt right now, but I wanted to show it. I love it. It is a plumeria. I found that out. This is a plumeria. And then one of the things that I like to do for mementos is small magnets, because they can really bring back memories, but they don't take up much room. And I have the refrigerator or the side of the washing machine, you know, that I can use. And he'll show you, this is my little Aruba turtle. So I brought him back, and when I put him on the, you know, up on the refrigerator, you know, with pictures of family and different things, it's a good memento for me, but it's little, and I know I'm going to have somewhere to put it. So...
And I got a t-shirt. See, my Aruba t-shirt?
Yep.
And now my t-shirt drawer is full. It won't fit in there. And I got another mug.
He loves mugs.
Aruba mug. And I have been drinking my coffee out of this every morning since we got back.
It's really a beautiful mug. It's got kind of a sandstone rough appearance here and then real smooth. And it's a beautiful mug.
So now...
However...
I have to figure out what to do with it, because we got more of these than we had room for. We got a bunch of them on the shelf. We got a bunch of them hanging up. We got a bunch of them in a box. All the ones that we collected when we were in Europe are all in a box, and I'm not even sure where that box is. We got it somewhere in the shed or something. But.
Yeah, it's not lost. It's just in a box.
So anyway, come along with me as I implement my plan.
Right. Okay.
So here we are in the sunroom, and I've showed this before too. This is our last big area in our house that we still have to organize. The eventual plan is to build a closet here with places to hang coats and shelves and stuff like that. But for right now, it's just a mess. But you see here's some of my mugs. I just have to figure out something better to do with these. Now some of you have suggested that I just take pictures of them and then get rid of them. And just keep the pictures. Apparently that's a strategy that people use when they are real serious hoarders, trying to get rid of stuff. But quite honestly, we live in 250 square feet. I don't think I'm a hoarder. We have everything honed down except for just this one thing that I'm having a hard time getting rid of the mugs. So that doesn't work for me. A lot more people, several more people have suggested that we somehow put hooks up here in the sunroom. You notice up here, this is all metal. There really isn't any place up here to do it. I could possibly put some brackets across here in this metal piece and put a shelf up there. I don't know, something like that. But I've got a better idea. Now as you can see here in our kitchen, we already have some mugs hanging back there behind the microwave. This coffee time mug holder was actually here when we bought the place, and it was not from the previous owner but the owner before that, the old lady who originally owned the place, and that's kind of cool, so we kept it there. So we got that completely full of mugs. And then over here you notice that we hung our commemorative measuring cups from Lancaster there, and then we have a whole row here of mugs hanging on hooks. Now I want you to notice something. See that? These are not all my
That's
mugs.
right.
Several of them are Elizabeth's. She likes them too. But this is also completely full, so we're going to have to find somewhere else to hang more mugs. So here's the plan. Here in our living room we have this little bump out right there where the recliners live, and up above, actually 6 months, 9 months ago, I did a video where I built this little shelf because we were out of room for our Thrive daily use pantry, so I built this shelf. So the plan now is to put hooks underneath of here, right there, all the way along the bottom of that shelf. I can fit quite a few mugs in right there, and it's far enough back that we are not going to bump our heads on it. You think?
No, we shouldn't. I can't even figure out how I'd hit my head on it.
No.
With sitting down in the chair.
So I think that's going to work. I'm excited to get my mugs up.
I think it's going to work fine.
This is dark wood, and with this pencil I can't even see the marks on it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I can't see the marks. I'm going to have to do each one separately so I don't lose it after I mark it. There we go. So here we are, it's all done. We even have some extra hooks. We've got more space, so I can get more mugs, right? Actually, we have room to hang the ones from Europe once we find them. We got Berlin, we got London, Paris, stuff like that.
It's kind of cool because it becomes a chance to display some things that are really good memories.
Right. So here we have Florida.
Let me just bring it in. I'm trying, hon. Okay.
Here we have Florida. This one's Alaska. When I was in the Army, I was on my way to Korea, and my plane landed in Anchorage for fueling, and it had mechanical problems, and we ended up staying in Anchorage for 2 days before we flew on to Korea. So I was able to get the Alaska mug there. And then, of course, Aruba, we were just there. 63rd Army Band, I was a member of that band for a couple of years. This one's interesting. Grandpa can fix anything. Our daughter gave us this, and I had it for a couple of years, and then she was actually over here and I forget how it happened. She dropped it or hit it or something, and it broke the handle off. And she was devastated. It was so funny. Grandpa can fix anything, and it was broken. So the next time she came back over, it was fixed. I was able to glue it back together again. And how cool, Grandpa can fix anything, including a broken mug. I thought that was really neat.
Yep.
So here's Cancun, and that's hanging backwards because on the back side it doesn't have anything there. So you got to hang that one backwards. And then Yosemite National Park. You remember that one, dear?
Yes, that's from our honeymoon, what, 39 and a half years ago?
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Not actually from our honeymoon. That's the trip where we got engaged.
Oh my goodness, you're right. That was even earlier than that.
Yep.
That was the trip out there. Oh my goodness. We were out there with my sisters, and we all traveled out to California together.
Yep. And that was part of the trip when we got engaged. And then this one, OK Cafe in Tombstone, Arizona. I went out there with my mother for a conference, and I got that there. And then I also got this one. This is handmade by Native Americans. This is also from Arizona, but it doesn't say it. But the handle is so big that it doesn't go in there. So we'll have to hang this over there on that coffee time holder, because that's what it's got a big peg stick.
The coffee time holder will hold that one.
It'll take that.
Yep. Looks good. Bill's not the only one that sometimes just has really special mugs. Isn't this beautiful? And it has the little flower inside. I had a chance when I was teaching in the nearby city to go on a trip, and went with a group of people, and we went to the Metropolitan Opera and saw Lucia di Lammermoor. I love opera. I love singing opera. And this was my memento that I brought back from that. So it's pretty special to me. So I think I'm going to hang that on one of those hooks in the other room also, in the living room. Also, I love this little chime. This is actually a G scale. I think Dana gave it to me, my sister. But every one of these is a note of a G scale. My chimes are all tuned. And I'm going to bring this in, and I think I found a perfect spot in the living room for it. This one that's right close, I'll come over here. This one that's right close is almost too close for a mug. So I think it's going to be a perfect place to put my chime. I just think that looks nice. And then I'm going to hang this. And then I have an idea, hon. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Here we go. So I'm going to put my memento here. And I'm going to move this one because this is a lighter mug. And I don't anticipate any of them falling. But since I'd be sitting underneath this heavy tombstone mug, I'm just going to chicken out and move it. So let's put the Cancun will be here. I'm turning these all the other way. Because all of them, except, that's still over my head, all of them except for Cancun are doubles. Whoops, this one's not.
Now what are you going to do?
I don't know, messed my whole idea up. Let me try. I don't think I can move Grandpa Can Fix. Yeah, I can move Grandpa Can Fix anything. There we go. I know what I'll do.
So you have them going both directions from the center.
There we are.
Does that satisfy your OCD?
Yes, that satisfies
Okay.
my slight amount of OCD. I have a little bit of OCD. But isn't that pretty? And we'll have room to maybe hang a few more things. We'll come back in the kitchen for a second. For right now, I never did get this outside this year, so for right now, I'm going to keep this in here. I just love this thing.
And
Makes
what
me
is that?
smile. This is a bird feeder.
Huh?
Looks like a little teapot. Isn't that cute? And I can't, no matter how I hang it, it turns that direction. It's the weirdest thing. And of course, this is my little thing for tea bags. This is from Ireland. But I may put this one in the other room also because it's so unique. And this was a gift from my nephew and his wife and family from Disneyland. And it looks like stacked teacups from Alice in Wonderland. It's very interesting to drink out of because it's all open in here. So it's level, but I always feel like I'm drinking crooked or something. It's really a fun cup. So I also wanted to show you just over here. This one has to be on that hanger. This is another one given to me by students. Being a teacher for so many years, one of the things the students like to give you is mugs. So I do have some special ones, but isn't that unique? And it's got a music note for a handle. So I've hung on to that. I really do like it. So I'll put that back over here because it's got a big enough hanger to hold it. So I think this one is going to go here in the living room. I'm going to put it on my side. Is there a his side and a my side?
That one's backwards.
Oh, you're exactly right. This will be fine. I'll put it like this. Isn't that cute? And then that leaves us with some more hooks in the kitchen so we can bring some things out that we haven't been able to have access to looking at for a long time. And I just think this has been a really cute idea that Bill has had. So thanks, hon.
Yep. It's really important to maximize space when you live in a tiny place.
Yes.
We'll talk more about that in a second, but you see here I have my ukulele hanging on the wall.
Yep.
And back in the corner I have my bass guitar leaning up against there. And down there I have my acoustic guitar. You have to use every square inch of a place this small if you're going to keep any kind of anything.
Yeah. I actually have a sweater right behind there that I can grab in a hurry to go outside. Just tuck it right behind my chair. Yep.
So,
So,
I told you I had a plan.
yeah, you did. And I
do you
like
think?
it. Yes, I think it's really pretty.
Yep.
I like it. Good idea.
You know, we've mentioned a number of times before that when you live in a tiny space, it's so important to just maximize every square inch, and if you bring something in, something else has to go out.
Yeah.
Unless you have a specific plan or a specific place for it. There you
Yeah.
have it.
Right, right. Yeah, if you can figure out a way to give it a real spot of its own so that everything can be put away, it works.
Right.
It works.
The problem is when you bring stuff in that you don't have a specific place for.
Yeah.
Then it just sort of clutters, and then it can very, very quickly turn into total chaos.
Yeah, oh, it can clutter up so fast.
You got to have a place for everything and everything in its place, and if you don't, you're going to end up wading through stuff.
Yeah, you just, everything has to have somewhere that it goes. Just saves your sanity.
Yeah.
Which means sometimes you have to make difficult decisions. But sometimes people come up with creative solutions.
Right.
Because, we do enjoy the memories that are wrapped around these mugs, and we do use them. So,
Yeah, I use every one of those mugs. In the morning I drink my coffee. When I'm at work, I take a travel mug in the truck, but every weekend, I get up in the morning and I'm usually working on the computer or something. Before she gets up, I make coffee and I use a different mug every Saturday morning. So
yeah. That's time he, I think really treasures.
yeah.
Yeah. It's been a real eye-opener for me, I know, that I sort of naively thought when we first kind of got ourselves actually situated. So I felt like I was all put away in here, and of course that's been a process with the new shed and trying to find the sunroom again because of all the building materials, but to feel like I was sort of situated in here, I was like, good, now I'm done. But that's not reality. Life just consists of paperwork coming in all the time. There's things that you realize that you need, or something that someone gives you that's really neat. And you have to be pretty much on top of, oh, now this has to sort of be resituated. I may have to set that up a little bit differently. And just as you notice anything kind of accumulating, you have to figure out, okay, what can I do with this so that it has a place? And it boils down to the fact that everything either has to have a place or it just has to go somewhere else. And so there are decisions and options and choices that you have to make sometimes. And I have, had to learn to be really diligent to sort clothes out all the time and to make sure that I only have the ones I need for that season. And filing the files that I need, figuring out where I'm going to put those so that they're easily accessible. Because it's a combination of not wanting to be cluttered, with only having what you really need or love, but also there's just certain functional things you have to be able to do. And so keeping up with that.
And you have to be able to access it. You can't have it buried down in a cubbyhole someplace.
Yeah, no. And I've really had to learn that with the space I do have in here, I want to be able to access any place I need to get to. And so we've talked about this a lot, but it has been a real learning experience over these, 2.5 years now?
Yeah.
That I can't take it for granted. I have to kind of be diligent to keep the clutter down. That's true in any house, but in something this small, you will quickly drown. So I just think it's great that you came up with this idea.
Yep, it works. It even looks kind of nice.
Yep, it does. It does. I noticed today when Bill was filming that he showed just a little bit of the side of the washing machine. There's some beautiful kids there. They're the ones we sponsor in India. And we haven't talked about them a whole lot, but I wanted to, because somebody's going to wonder about that. But those are the 2 kids we sponsor in India, and they're doing great. Anyway, I was noticing that when he was filming.
So, I hope you've enjoyed that little project that we did, and if you have,
Yep.
please be sure to like it below. That really helps us a lot.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you need to do that.
Sorry. Gosh, I just squawked. Sorry about that.
You
My
need to
goodness.
do that, or you're going to miss out on all our great future videos.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
We'll see you next
guys.
time.
All righty. Bye. I love you. Goodness.
Spreading it on with a butter knife.
What are those things you do spackle with? A spackle applicator? A spackle gun knife? I love you.